Well, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. I lost a Final Four team. Kind of sad. I want to cry. I actually just wiped my eyes off from crying. But the way North Carolina played last night, nobody gonna beat them.
No.
I don't think they're gonna shoot like that again. Throughout the year, hi Kenny. Throughout the year, I think North Carolina's 3-point percentage is like 28%, 30%, and Indiana was like 5th in the country. They were high 30s, up close to 40, if not 40.
Pretty much switched around.
Yeah, so that's what happens. They were 8 of 8, I believe, from 3 in the first half, and then they missed a 3 at the buzzer of the first half. They didn't miss a 3 the whole time until the end.
They were 10 of 13 until like the last 2 or 3 minutes when they just started jacking up.
So I wasn't even, it just happens. I just happened to take a chance with Indiana, and it didn't happen. I mean, I've got 2 other brackets, money brackets that I play, but that was my second bracket in my main pool. Had North Carolina winning in my 3rd bracket, but it's just a little pool I'm in. Number 1 bracket, like I said, I have Kansas winning that all, which they still could. But yeah, just trying to get over that loss. Anyway, before we get into the NCAA, just want to touch on how impressive the Spurs and Warriors are this year. I mean, it's something we'll probably never see again. The Warriors are 1 game ahead of the pace of the 95 Bulls. They are 65-7, and the Spurs just tied the home record of that Bulls team. They're 37-0. So we could see a team break the all-time home record. Plus, we could see Golden State up in that record. And think about what the Spurs would do if Popovich didn't sit the starters every other game. I mean, they could be right up there with the Spurs too. So it's really impressive. And then the Cavs are leading the East by 2.5 games over Toronto. They're kind of sluggish, but they got the 1 seed. Pretty much showed up if they win, I'd say 7 of the 10 last games. So we'll talk more about the NBA playoffs after this tournament.
Yep.
But as far as today goes, well, it could go either way. But I think we have a 1 and a 2 seed each matchup. I think Oregon has a good shot. They're in a rematch from, 1938?
1939.
Yeah, 1939.
Final Four with Oklahoma.
Go ahead and say that. You said Ohio State got beat by...
Yeah, Ohio State in that tournament
in
was pretty much the first tournament. Oregon won it all, beat Oklahoma in the Final Four, and then won Ohio State. And
then they beat Ohio State in the championship?
They beat Ohio State in the championship. But since then, they haven't really done anything. They've gotten to the Elite Eight 4 other times, but they've lost each time, so they really haven't done anything since 38, but it's a whole different level right now.
In Villanova, I'm not sure, but I think it was like 95 last time they were this far, I want to say.
Villanova's last time was, their last Elite Eight was 2009.
But then as far as if they make the Final Four, I think it was like
that was like 95.
Yeah. And then I almost forgot from last night. And that was Indiana's first loss playing an NCAA game in Philly. Bobby Knight took them they won 2 titles under Knight in Philly. So, and 5 titles overall. I believe all under Knight. 2 of the 5 were in Philly though. So that's one reason on the second bracket I picked Indiana to be in my finals, because I knew they'd have to play in Philly and they were pretty hot. But, I mean, they scored like 86 points. And UNC went over 100, so what can you do?
Kind of hard.
UNC had better size, better athleticism. Page went off. I think he started the game like 7 of 7 from the floor, something like that.
Yeah.
4 of 4 from 3 in the first half.
Ended up with 6 threes, which is a tie to UNC 3-point record. So
it just happens. If they play like that, good luck beating them. I don't care who you are. And then we have, like I said, the Oklahoma-Oregon matchup. I have Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma will win that game. They've played really, really well. Buddy Hield, obviously, he was a Player of the Year candidate all year. They haven't named that yet.
No, they haven't.
He has a good shot.
He pretty much was. I thought he was mediocre in the last game, but the other 4 starters pretty much came and helped him out with that win.
And he can always get his point. He goes
25
30 easy. So just have to see what he does. Kansas, I think, will beat Villanova, but that's going to be a dogfight. It's going to be a good game. Kansas, I think, where you're going to see them take control is inside. I really think they're gonna win the rebounding battle, and I think they're gonna outscore them in the paint. They have to. I think they're gonna win. Villanova's gonna get you from the guard spot.
Yeah, and they're just gonna hound you. They're just gonna try
physically
turnovers, and they're gonna shoot threes, in which their three guards are pretty much over 30%, maybe 34%.
They're pushing 36 somewhere in there. Yeah,
they're up there in the percentage for 3 points.
Then the last thing I was gonna say was the Warriors could actually break that record, not only tie it. What would they have to do? They could, down the stretch, they could lose, 2 games?
They could lose 2 games.
2 games to
do it.
Do it. And I don't think they play anybody real tough.
No, well,
do they?
Is anybody really tough at this point for them if they have all their starters on?
They either played Philly last night or they played them tonight.
Well, Philly,
and they're terrible. Yeah. So they either beat. I didn't even look. They either beat them last night or they'll beat them tonight. Yeah. I think they're going to break the record.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that they make it back to the finals and the Cavs can get a rematch, see what they can do. But they're awesome. Mm-hmm. Spurs or Golden State both. Heck, OKC's right there too. Not record wise, but talent wise. I mean, the West is anybody's game to win, championship to win in the West.
Well, depends on who shows up.
Yep. All right, you can go into yours now.
Pretty much, I'm going to do the Sunday games. The Virginia-Syracuse game. Virginia, their last Elite Eight was 1995, and they're 2-3 in the Elite Eight with their record, so they're kind of even. They're 4-3 overall against Syracuse all time, so not really many games there. Syracuse, their last Elite Eight was 2013, so they're kind of Boeheim's pretty much closer, and then you got that zone that he plays in their length. So they've had close games, but they came out.
Virginia, though, I'm telling you, they got some length as well. What's that dude who came off the bench last night?
Toby.
Toby. He comes off the bench, but he's, I believe, 6'10".
6'10", 6'11".
And then
he's
got
up there. You got Gill.
Gill is the curl. You see his curls bouncing around. He's a good player. He scored, I think, 20 last night.
Something like that.
Terrible free throw shooter. So I would foul him. Honestly, he went. I don't know what he ended up, but he missed his first 3 free throws last night. I'd foul the crap out of him if I was Syracuse, but that'll be a knock him out, drag out game.
Yeah.
Probably in the 60s or 70s. Neither team's going to shoot you to death.
No, they're not going to shoot, but
they'll go inside.
I think the key for Syracuse in that game is their guard play. Plus, you got Roberson
they got to keep Gill off the glass.
Pretty much going to get anything and everything that comes his way. He proved that against Sabonis, which usually averages 20 and 15. Roberson pretty much just came in there and dominated whenever he could. The next game is North Carolina Notre Dame game.
I think North Carolina's going to beat the dogwood.
I think they should too. The 30-point game, they beat them in the ACC tournament. They blew them out. Yeah, Notre Dame beat them during the regular season, but it was close. It wasn't really anything.
North Carolina's got better and better as the year went on.
Oh, yeah.
They were young, and they're still young, but they play like a bunch of seniors. They play well. And Notre Dame shouldn't even be there, let's be honest.
No.
Wisconsin was up 1 with, I believe, 19 seconds to go and turned the ball over last night. Twice. And it was an 8-0 run to end the game. Notre Dame is a solid team, but they're not anywhere in UNC's class. They're just not.
The only thing that Notre Dame really has going is they still have kids from last year's Elite Eight, so they have experience, but
they just don't have the talent.
North Carolina's just got all that talent, and they're deep. They play 8-9 guys, and it doesn't seem like it's like level. There's no drop off. There's no nothing.
I was talking last night. There's everybody on that floor would start. Even their bench players would come off the bench
somewhere,
and they would start. They could start for Ohio State, for crying out loud. I'm a Buckeye fan, and if Thad had those players, they'd be starting and not even coming off the bench. So
yeah,
there's anybody in the Big Ten could use any of those guys.
And pretty much North Carolina in the Elite Eight is overall.
Hell, they have
17-6.
So I think they've been to 12 Final Fours with
Roy.
Yeah. And they've won 8 titles or something like that.
Something like that. I forget.
Roy knows what he's doing, and that team is just loaded.
It's just amazing. So
Kansas is talented too, so we'll see if that matchup.
if that matchup comes, I think that's going to be a good game.
Ellis, we'll see what happens.
Pretty much, those are the games we'll pretty much just covered. We'll cover the Final Four when it comes up. But like Cody said with the NBA, we'll be
pretty much forward to that.
Pretty much covering the playoffs with that, and then we'll go into the NBA draft. Plus, we'll be doing the NFL draft, trying to.
And I'm gonna drop a draft for you. I have one I'm working on at home, and then Josh maybe do his own. We'll work on one together for sure, but I'll have one for you probably next week. Because I'm an NFL junkie. Those of you that know me, I know I could give you a draft right now if we were talking football, but I'll stick to basketball for now.
Yeah.
We'll tell you what the seeds are and everything when the NBA playoffs, because we still got some moving and shaking. Mm-hmm. We've got, I'd say the surprise would be Charlotte for me. They're in the 6th spot right now in the East.
Yeah,
they've been terrible, and they've got a little bit of talent. I don't think they're going to win more than one round if they get through the first round. They play the. Would it be Atlanta?
The 3? Atlanta.
I think they play Atlanta.
Atlanta's not. They
got shooters. We'll
look nothing like they did last year, though.
No.
They don't have that spark. So that could be a good matchup, the 6-3, when it comes down to it.
And Cleveland's up 2.5 games. They're sluggish right now, but they're up 2.5 games on Toronto. So if they've got the 1 seed, they'll play probably Detroit.
Yeah.
Miami's in about the 5 seed, so you could see that in the next round. But like I said, you got Detroit there. Chicago's fallen off. Are they a game and a half, 2 games out?
Yeah, they're in.
So they just lost
spot.
to the Knicks last night, I believe. Yeah. So you could. I don't think the Bulls are going to sneak in there. They might do some damage if they got in. Maybe give Cleveland a run for their money. But I think the Cavs will win in 5 games, 6 games, no matter who they play.
Yeah.
Even if they're dogging it, they got to stay healthy. That's what frustrates me. You got to keep Kyrie healthy, LeBron and Love. I wouldn't even, honestly. I don't care if they lose the 1 seed. I would have LeBron and Love and Kyrie especially playing maybe 15, 20 minutes a game, if that, down the stretch. Because I don't want anybody hurt.
Yeah.
So.
That's pretty much it.
You want to add anything about the NBA, or you just want to cut it this?
Well, with the NBA, pretty much when we get there, we'll go over it.
Western Conference, you got 3 big dogs. You got 3 teams that could come out
capable of doing anything.
I think it's going to be San Antonio or Golden State, but OKC's got the talent as well.
Yeah.
Westbrook's one of my favorite players to watch.
Yeah. What, 15, 16 triple-doubles this year?
Yeah.
He's a stud. So pretty much that's all we have for today. We'll see you again after probably these next 2 rounds.
Heading into the Final Four, we'll let you know.
Yep.
Hopefully I got 3 of my Final Four. We'll see what happens.
Hopefully. I still got 2, but that ain't going to make no difference. So we'll see you then.
All right. Thanks, guys.